Look at this. Instantly drops Zanpah right before he can get around the corner, and then continues to push in. He knew exactly where Shrimzy was, and then here's the re-rotate out. Zanpah's already taken out. A nice flash. It does force hwinn to look away. He wasn't caught by the blind.
We'll see what this game has in store for us right off the bat, though. What a gross, disgusting, ugly plane.
Yeah, this is pretty not good looking.
It ain't a good look.
It's pretty gross. I think that there are a couple of teams that might have to make adjustments based on their loot position. I think like STK will go Hacienda, they should be fine, but Gascans go closer to El Azahar. They might be, oh, I lied. Their secondary drop is right below there, or Puerto Paradiso. But still, they're in check. I'm a little worried about. Durani, I'm a little worried about. They go towards the north end, La Croberia, and north of San Martin, actually west of water treatment, respectively, for those two squads. So, unfortunately, in check secondary drop is even further north. Where is Durani set? They don't have a secondary drop as far as our, I guess, notes are concerned. So we might find some impromptu secondary drops. Yeah, oh, it's a lot of fighting over El Pozo. I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you got to worry about the most when you see planes like this is teams dropping for these vehicles and trying to go for the same exact thing. So haven't seen anything show up just yet on the eastern side of the map, but as you said, a bunch of teams holding out until the very end to make this drop. And now this is going to be Luke 12 is in check, going to read this and turn around. Doesn't look like they will. All right, Luke's going to be okay. The rest of the SDK boys look like they'll be all right. We'll see if Incheck actually gets inside of El Pozo. Dodge is going to have the prio on that already, though, as they've already landed. So Incheck might be in some trouble here.
Yeah, a couple of shots already going their way from... Who is that? That's another... I think that's Penta all the way towards the south. And Luke 12 with a buggy could be chasing Incheck down or trying to go even further north. Because even though I said SDK... might still be able to go to Hacienda. They're also part of this whole squabble, this whole fight for West El Pozo positioning. And Vegas also has opportunities. This is a totally different area, way back towards Power Grid, shooting at 22.
If they hit those. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they did hit those, but if you're 22 and you get popped out of the air in the parachute before you get a chance to hit the ground, that is the stuff that Tilt is made of right now. Actually, they're probably not too excited about the fact that they hear bullets whizzing by their heads.
It's not the most comfortable, but they should be able to get to San Martin before really too much damage. Though I do see on the map Durani is also chiming in and trying to take down these clay pigeons falling from the sky. They should be okay. It's just not a very comfortable start, but also more importantly is they're landing the last out of everyone. So even when you look at SDK and Incheck, who have been sort of fighting with each other over the vehicles, over their initial drop, they've still been able to loot up at least a little bit. But 22, they're so close to the circle that loot timing shouldn't be a big concern either.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. They're as you can see, they're looting up in San Martin. They're right on the edge of the circle, so they've got plenty of time. I mean, most of the time, any teams that are going to be landing kind of outside or on the edge of the circle, they're going to take their time anyway and just kind of slow loot it. Especially when you didn't get your landing until 3 minutes in. So the chances of them trying to loot up really fast and send it dead center are probably pretty low, or you would think that it would be. Here we see Selfish from the aforementioned Incheck. After bobbing and weaving and dipping and diving away from Dodge and STK, they are looting up on that western side, and now check in with 303.
And Rage here on 303. Both these squads are south of Los Leones once again. So this is another completely different area of the map. Couple of shots, still no real connection, and that's partly because neither of these teams are really in this circle in a comfortable position, and so you don't want to get into a fight that's going to keep you from rotating into a strong position, even though it is only circle one.
Yeah, you can see where all the Skittles are kind of hanging out before sending over to find a spot near Chuma. That's where everybody's going to be centering up, and wouldn't you know
hello.
Dead center. Ooh. narrowly avoid disaster there, as pulling away from a spot that Soniqs plays a lot. Actually, kind of surprised to see Zenith try to send it there.
I mean, I think that wasn't a full send. That was more just a little bit of a scout, a little bit of a loop-to-loop behind. Very risky either way, however. I think timing was just on Poonage's side because the few members of Soniqs that were in this compound were like just arriving. They just happened to be on the south side of everything. But nonetheless, that is still useful information for Zenith to adjust the rest of their rotations. They're going to be sending closer to Picado.
Okay. Just a little bit of reconnecting and getting everybody back together. Fairly slow early game here, as we do have 100% playable circle, although the playing path was looking a little bit dicey at the beginning. It looked everybody was able to avoid it for the most part, and now it's just down to that slow mid game or slow early game period.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a center circle, even though this is a little more closer towards the west. It is, I think it's fair to say that it's a west, marginally southwest circle. It's still close enough to center, especially off the plane path. Everyone's going to be inside already. Not too much of engaging going on. There's a little bit of shots back and forth. People scouting towards each other, like Poonage towards Soniqs, and like Oath in 303 here. This actually could be something a little more dangerous. Shots are landing. Ooh. Can't actually hit too many of them. That was really well-timed shots from Snakers. Having the vehicle in reverse, T-Plan's forced to then try and switch the acceleration to go forward, and that sort of slowdown you'd think would give Snakers a huge opportunity for damage, but it didn't seem to be there. And now there's some trades coming back from 300 onto their position.
Yeah, one of the things we're kind of noticing, and I don't know if it's just a byproduct of the lobby or maybe a byproduct of some of the experiences that these guys were getting in PGIS, but we're not seeing as many really wide splits, these information gathering splits that we've seen in the past. I mean, you see Oath was just playing all on top of each other right there. I mean, you see a little bit of a split here from Spicy Fish for the most part, but you know, they're still within range of each other. But last game, you know, obviously we were seeing a lot more real estate be taken up, and this time it seems like everybody's kind of collapsing in on top of each other. So we'll see how they decide to go here. I mean, I think it's just it might be a byproduct of the fact that it is 100% playable circle, right? So you want to be able to gain as much information about where you would like to go next, right?
Yeah. I mean, while you're talking, yeah, a lot of teams started off in a sort of same-y position, but we're still seeing a little bit of that footsie game of like, where is taken? Where can I go? Okay, someone is there. That's too big of a threat. Let's try and maneuver our position over here. And so, like, Oath already sent Relo out to get a position closer towards Soniqs. We have Zenith that have put themselves in a little bit of a 2-2. We just saw Vegas there on the bike, maneuvering around where exactly he was trying to hold. But now Dodge is pushing in onto Spicy Fish's position. And yeah, Spicy Fish, this isn't as big of a split as they usually do, but that's a nice high ground position held by Keenan. I think Roth instead is just going to back away from this. Doesn't want to take this unnecessary engagement. He goes down. Too late.
Oof. Oh, no. And that's not a good place to be. We'll see the smokes come out. I think they should be able to get this res. Dodge doesn't look too terribly inclined to want to go ahead and hard crash to push that and flush that kill. But you never know. By the time they get out to him, Dodge might be able to reposition to put themselves in a spot. Nope, good cover fire will prevent Hello Senpai from wanting to overpeak this and stick around for too long.
I don't know if he'd have the angle. The big worry is Spicy Fish getting down there in the first place. Some damage is going to make sure that Dodge aren't going to be as comfortable peeking out, but we still see more pieces of utility utilized just to pick Roth back up. And he's definitely proven himself to be a strong asset. Sharpshot's going to come beaming in with the buggy, trying to get his teammate picked up. But it's still a dangerous situation, and I just hope that those vehicles are going to be safe, because that's going to be a rough climb if they only have the bike. Yeah. So Finna right now continuing to try and punish this. In fact, Sharpshot just running out in the open. Ooh, that's dangerous. They have to know the angles that Dodge are holding, the split that they have. The shots aren't really landing, though, for Finna, which is a little bit of a sigh of release for Spicy Fish, and I think Keenan can start to put pressure back from the high ground. And they're going to get on the bike and get out of Dodge. And so after all of that, We're back to the status quo. We still have 64 players alive, but nonetheless, that was a lot of resources that Spicy Fish had to use, a lot of grenades that they might not be able to find in their loot throughout the rest of the game. It was like, what, 5 or 6? At least. Keenan into the bike, the circle, centered up a little bit south, but Spicy Fish don't necessarily have to move, so they're just refortifying their position and want to put their attention back onto Dodge. Dodge, on the other hand, they want to get away from this edge position that they have. They're getting in their trucks, but they're driving directly into Spicy Fish's spot, trying to, I guess, backfill in a way their older compound position. But this could be a big risk because there are a number of teams that are going to be pushing in from the north. And if they end up getting caught between multiple lines of engagement, this could be really, really bad for Dodge. Again, though, no one has been knocked just yet. And Civil, in fact, going to get in his vehicle because I think they're going to be moving away. The rest of Spicy Fish have already gotten a position just on the north end of Chumacero. So they're going to be following up there, letting Dodge take over that position. Durny right now. Also wanting to move away. They're coming in from Power Grid, sort of hilltop overlooking Picado. It's a big wide open field that they want to be able to drive through, but there's a bunch of teams there as well. But, I mean, even more at risk down here on the south side. Gascan's pushing into Enrage's position. I don't know what the information that they have, but we know there's only 2 members here. A third is going to be following up. Gubin +1, final teammate of Balkan, going to be arriving. They're going to want to get here pretty fast. Yeah, on the bike's going to make it a little easy. But Gascans should have heard that. They should know there's some backup that has arrived. Let's come out. It's going to be the damage coming out from Enrage that pushes Oldless away and onto Honey Badger as well. So again, no knocks. Just a lot of trades. I wonder if they're going to want to commit into this engagement. But elsewhere, Oath are also in a bit of a defensive hold for 300. And Oath are split up as well. We're talking about their position getting more and more wider and wider. And, well, this is the widest it's been all game. They're definitely going to have to regroup, converge back onto this position. Billfrost now holding the angle. But you can see Kickstart and Reload trying to push in from the northern side. Oh, good angle. Billfrost, but still doesn't land too many shots. I imagine it's because of the smokes blocking his vision. Just some wild shots to see if he can't land any free damage. But instead it's going to be Reload that finds the first point of contact onto Neferhorde's far anchor position on that hilltop. And actually Kickstart sending it that way. If Reload and Kickstart are able to 2v1 Neferhorde's position here, this could be the first thread of trying to break apart 300 solid Spartan hold. Billfrost is also in a little bit of trouble. A couple of separate engagements. Comms are going to be wild here. But the fire isn't touching him. This is huge. Grenade comes through. Still down to 82 HP. That second one's going to make him down to 49.
They can't hit the mollies, but they can't push it either because Snakers has such good oversight. And you can see Relo and Balefrost. I'm sorry, Relo and Kickstart from range are kind of preventing them from making any push onto this either. So really good hold by the Oath boys as now 300. I mean, backs up against the wall. What do you do against such a good hold like this?
Oh, the spray!
Well, I guess that's going to do it.
It's going to be Vox, though, that finds the knock and the full confirm onto Balefrost. So even though he had the first moment of opportunity, is 300 with the lead.
All right, here we go. Snaker's going to hold down the top of the building. He's going to try to get as much support from the high ground as he can get. And Kickstart and Reload going to land it onto Leda, although Reload gets traded out by Neferhorde. So Neferhorde doing some good work on the up front push here. And now they are just crashing in. They want Snakers. I think he has been fed that information that they're all on top. Oh, what a good Batman play. He goes for the flush. Oh, no. And he will go down. Kickstart will try to use that opportunity to go for the res onto Relo. Looks like he should be able to get it. And meanwhile, Snakers does get that flush. And here we go. Another crash going on between Akresh and Durany. 2 down for Durany already. VHZ King has been flushed out as well. Flux down. Sparking and Kaishin going to try to push into this, but look at the damage that's been done. Sparking not even going to get a chance to heal here. As he wants to finish that out. That's a good Molotov. Going to slow down the push, but Durany doesn't care. They're crashing right into it. Low Quicks will find Sparking, get the flush. with the Scar. They still have a res to get onto Panda here. That might be a good grenade. Okay, just a little bit off.
Just a little bit off, but he's going to be wrapping around the side. Could find an angle, but Punij is upsetting these plans. Means that Keenan isn't going to be as confident on the peak. Drop down to 49 HP. And I think it's going to be, for a second, look like a little push over to the side. They might know of Kishin's relocation here. Grenade's going to come out into the building.
Oh.
Gonna find low. Quicks is a good opener, but he's going to have a couple more to follow up on that.
Oh. He had another one. He wanted to go for the peaks. hwinn actually getting the down on a Panda here. Now it's just down to Emmy. Should be able to get that res, but Soniqs in a good place to get that third party, get those free points away. As Durney gonna get back up to 2. Spicy Fish gonna force hwinn to peek back down away. Roth gonna land some big damage.
In the meantime, you can see on the map, Oath and 300 took 2 kills off each other and then decided to go their separate ways. One north, one south, but 300's rotation could be going directly into Zenith. Punij has the angle. Drops Neferhor. It's all into head kick right now.
Oh my, Punij. Really good shooting with that M4. He's going to take a little bit of damage in return. Knows to expect the window peak. Throws the molly out just in time. Flashbangs, and look at that. It's actually going to be Brutus from in check. Going to be stealing that kill away. But Punij lives to fight another day. Zenith keep 4 up on the north side.
Speaking of north side, the circle is going to hard shift towards the northeast. Once again, shifting towards Zenith's position. And it's a really good solo hold by Punij because the rest of his squad can just group up onto his position and actually push closer towards that road. There might be a few little areas to sort of take that northern side, but over here, this engagement between Enrage and Gas Cans has been going on and on this entire time. And Enrage want to end it because they're going to need to move to the circle, but a blind push into the apartments. Well, it is going to trade, but then Adam is here with the angle.
Adam, the UMP gamer right now, doing some damage. Oldest gets taken down. That was a good hold originally, but they were getting hard crashed by all 4 of Enrage here. They realize the situation. The rest of the boys going to come up and try to provide some support. Nikos has the Molotov in the window. Does it find Gubin? It does indeed. It's going to be him going down. Adam takes out Psycho. This could be cleaned up here very, very shortly. I think only 1 up for Enraged now. That's going to be Balkan hiding in the corner. Nikos is looking. They're trying to see if they can figure out exactly where he is. And oh, they spotted him.
Oh, the bar's on the window. Okay, it's fine. Nico's got him in the end. A little bit of an adjustment had to be made. Difficult angle to try and fire from with the elevation, and if you're too close, your gun goes into the air, etc. But it's fine because Gaskins are able to stabilize. It looked like a really strong push. But over here, Oath, we saw them on the map. They just sent it past that area. They said, I see you playing. We're going to use this opportunity to scooch on in. But naturally, as you can expect, not that many safe, strong areas for them to play in. They're proning right below STK's position. Potential angles from InCheck, from Soniqs, from 303.
Yeah, it's not the best spot in the world, but if you're a duo and all you're trying to do is survive and see if you can maybe get to the late game, it'll work for now. As we see Gas Cans trying to make their push out of that compound after defeating the encroaching team. Looks like Nikos will get in. H11 Jr. going to be taking the shots over as well, but he's going to be forced to pull back down as Nico's going to send some good shots. But look at this, 303 just putting in damage, and Gas Cans can't feel too terribly comfortable right now.
Yeah, but STK, they're trying to put some trade damage back onto 303 as well. Faiska's going to go down to Purdy Curdy. And so now 303, they need to make a decision. Do we want to get these, I don't want to say free, but, you know, potentially easy points on a wounded, limping Gas Cans? Or do we want to try and focus onto STK because we're on the edge of the circle? It all depends on where the circle is going to shift into. I think 303 want to play a little safe for the next 15 seconds so they don't open up a can of worms that is suddenly going to be not in their favor with the way that the state of the game has been heading.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't blame him for pulling back H11 Jr. there. I mean, you keep peeking up over the top, you're in a 1v3, plus you got to worry about the STK third party. No real reason to do that. T-Plets has an angle on him anyway. He's going to find Nikos. Won't get the flush, but Gas Cans no longer in circle as well. They're going to try to do some return damage, but meanwhile, another push going on between Dodge and Spicy Fish. Hikerman down to about half HP. Hello Senpai even less, as they are just trying to survive not only the shots from Spicy Fish, but Zenith again, third partying from long range here. Shimboy landing some good shots.
Sharpshot, his position is critical here. He has a teammate though, Roth right next to him, and they're going to try and actually push on a Dodge's position. They're definitely securing that kill. They're making sure that Dodge don't have any real comfortable area to play around, but don't overextend. Sharpshot's going to back away once they secure that.
Problem for Dodge here.
hwinn, it's the Soniqs angle that's going to put the pressure on them. It's going to punish them.
That's the third party coming in. I mean, the problem for Dodge here is that they got to do something. I mean, Spicy Fish is basically gatekeeping them from getting inside this next circle. There's no real way for them to make their way around, especially now that their vehicle is a smoldering pile of ash that Hikerman is trying to use as a little bit of cover here from the pressure from Shinboy. The duo will get back together, start to try to get on the move. Spicy Fish, meanwhile, going to get inside the compound, just inside the circle. Zenith, though, right over the top of them, so they can't peek too much. They can't afford to really dance and jive around the outside of the compound. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, you can see gas cans and 303 running into each other again, and that's going to be it for gas cans as they run in the middle of 303 and STK.
Kickstart.
Meanwhile, Oath still alive, still kicking.
Yeah, they got one trade on an in check. Kickstart's there to find a second. So now it's just 1v2 in this particular engagement, but Kickstart needs to be aware that he doesn't, while his retreat from in check is definitely one towards safety, he doesn't want to open up a line of sight towards 303. You can see on the map that they're looking at his position. There's a nice rock in the way, but on the other side of the map, it's going to be Spicy Fish trying to punish Zenith's bit of an ambitious wide split hold. Punij and Shiboy are going to be on the opposite side of the northern ridge. And so now Spicy Fish with Dodge out of the picture, with those two Zenith threats out of the picture, they finally have a little bit of room to breathe. Only 2 kills on their end, but they have some space that they can finally push into safely with some intention, with some proactivity.
Yeah, Zenith may be biting off a little bit more than they could chew with that 2-2 split on the north side. Spicy Fish, as you said, summarily executes the 2 on the hold there. T-Plents, meanwhile, looks like Kickstart still being a giant pain in the butt as he's going to find H11 Jr. Can Trisk try to trade it out? Kickstart already does half of his life. The blue is on top of him. Kickstart gets another one. T-Plents now the last one up for 303. And he is off to the south. He's having to deal with STK, not even in a position to back up his teammates as Kickstart doing that solo thing he does so well.
He's still alive here. Incheck wasn't able to peek onto the position when he was distracted by 303. It's just the head of a needle that Kickstart, I think, has been able to sneak in through. The grenade from Penta comes out, finds T-Plents. And so Kickstart knows that his big threats are now Incheck as well as STK. He's constantly checking for the Incheck check of his position from his north side. It's still not a comfortable position, especially now that the circle has moved away from that corner onto SQ's building.
Yeah, Soniqs are absolutely laughing right now. They have the compound. They have all the room in the world to work around here. Kickstart will go down now to Poblex as Incheck will keep 2 alive. They're going to keep their rap going to the south. They should be running into STK shortly. Meanwhile, Zenith pushing into the last remaining duo of Durney. Ernie using those walls, using those compounds to hold off the pressure for now. Not many throwables left in the bag for Zenith, so they can't flush them out with Molotovs. They can't flush them out with grenades. They've got to do it the hard way, and that's going to be by throwing the flashbangs and trying to make them peak, but just not happening right now for Durney, as they are proven to be a tough nut to crack.
The smoke also allows them to push without getting taken out as easily by hwinn and the rest of the Soniqs' high ground position. But Durney are backing away. They know that the blue is on their favor in terms of that engagement. But over here on the east side, Incheck are finally peeking over towards STK's position, but Alo holding the top. The high ground grenade comes through. It's going to miss him. Rizzola now spots Alo out. Poblex as well with more grenades.
Ooh, it's a good flank here. Rizzola, I don't think they know exactly how close he is, but he hasn't peeked up over the top far enough yet to see the STK guys. He's lost his teammate. Punij has gone down in the meanwhile as well. As there you go, Incheck gets taken out by STK. Shimboy, the last one up for Zenith. He's still not inside circle. Soniqs, meanwhile, just get to hang out inside their compound trying to take shots at range. You also have Spicy Fish and 22 on the western side that are getting real close to each other. But who is going to take care of Shinboy here? That's a good Molotov, and that's going to force him to reposition. Panda will find him through the door. And that's what we were wanting to see from Zenith. They just didn't have the utility to do it.
I think his ankle when he was crouched just barely peeked out. There was a couple of pixels of his body that could have been seen through that door. It's a very nice angle found. Durrany's still alive, and now STK pushing him from the south side. Great shots onto KF9. But do they know of old timers' position? Well, they certainly do now. Nades come out. Pretty sure he's actually going to go down to Zanpah. So STK fighting multiple squads, multiple fronts, and yes, the blue coming in. Flip of a coin, the drop of a needle, whatever those phrases are, their position is now, well, gone.
Wow, wow, wow. In a matter of seconds, Shoot to Kill gets taken apart by Zanpah and the old Kings. Here's Spicy Fish. We've been looking for this fight to possibly break off, but 22 has had some good ridges to hide behind. Spicy Fish have had the same, so it's really kind of been a stalemate more than anything, as now the smokes are going to come out. It has to come to a head as they are outside of circle. Biznaga, Vinny going to lay down the smokes, try to play the edges, try to see if they can find any angles. Nothing revealing itself just yet, but I mean, Soniqs is just they're absolutely laughing right now. Durrany may be the only thing that they have to worry about.
Yeah, Soniqs right now, they need to focus on their southeastern ridge. The blue going to be pushing in Durrany as well as potentially old timers onto their position. But as far as this particular circle goes, this is really, really strong for them, because the only position that I think 22 and Spicy Fish could go to is still going to be seen by the high ground of Soniqs' plateau that they're sitting on. So once Soniqs clear their area, they're going to be able to clean apart whoever survives this fight, which is why it's so imperative that 22 and Spicy Fish take each other out now, because they want to get these points. They want to get these placement and these kill points. Ooh, Vinny peeked up. Uncivil's going to spot him out. But again, trying to avoid the overpeak, but Vinny is only getting closer and closer. Ooh, spotted, damage. And that's going to be Vinny going down.
Oh, I liked the idea from Vinny. He could have gotten away with it. It might have worked out fantastically. The good flank. Keenan will get traded off as well, but it's all down to Biznaga. He's got a little rock to hide behind here. And Spicy Fish can't really push into it too much because he's got such good hard cover. They might actually slow this down, try to go for the res on Keenan, reset, get the health back up, and see if they can maybe push then.
Shots.
Oh,
towards Panda. But it is going to be Soniqs that takes out the final member of 22. And this is what I mean with that high ground so dominant. So whoever wins, in this case, is going to be Spicy Fish. I still don't know how much longer they're going to survive. I know I said that last game, but I'm saying it again here because their position is just going to be torn apart by the Soniqs. The only thing that's going to get in their way if someone else actually threatens Soniqs' position. But Durrany gets slapped out of position. Old Timers already took some heavy damage trying to rotate in. It's just a couple of solos around Soniqs' high ground. They have full control of this game at the moment.
That's clean double peak coming out for Soniqs. That'll put him up to 10 kills as well. And it is looking like an all but certain Soniqs victory, but they still have some work to do. If Spicy Fish can maybe get something done, Koff just going to go down to the blue there, not give up the point, and it's down to the 4v3. But what can Spicy Fish do? As he said, it is just a big valley right in front of them that they have to work with. Soniqs doesn't have to leave. They have the high ground. They have everything they could possibly want. And Spicy Fish, well, we saw how damaged they were after that fight they got in.
Sharpshot.
Sharpshot
has gotten a lot closer to Soniqs than I think I would have expected, mostly because of the big damage and distraction from the other two members of Spicy Fish towards the north side.
Oh, man.
He's continuing to push this. He could completely dismantle this Soniqs supremacy.
Oh, wait.
But he needs to go now. He's able to find one, but how do the rest of Soniqs react?
Oh, my goodness. Sharpshot gets right up on top of him. As you said, Uncivil has been traded out, though. Tiggleton knocked Zanpah. They know exactly where to look for him. How can he keep... If he can keep peeking this ridge line... That's the problem for Soniqs here is by letting him get this close... He can keep peeking and repeaking and going back. Oh my God. The spray is so on point. And now he's turned this into a 1v2. Yeah. His teammates have been taking out, but Sharpshot wants to pull off the hero play. hwinn going to go for the res onto Zanpah in the middle of the smoke. It does. Oh, he finds Shrimzy. He gets the flush. He knew exactly where to shoot. They got
Now
out of there just in the nick of time.
If he wants to, he can take over Shrimzy's position on the high ground. But SQ, good rotation on their end to try and get in front of him to get closer towards the center, because even though Sharpshot would be higher elevation, he's going to have to push into their position. But he spots a rotate.
Oh,
Fortunately, the angle was held, and now they know exactly where he is.
But they know exactly where he is, but I think Sharpshot might have picked out exactly what Soniqs' game plan is in the same peak. So he does have time to get the heal off. Sharpshot, you do not pull this off. This is not something that you can do. You cannot come in here and 1v4 Soniqs from that position. He's going to go ahead and give up the high ground, wrap around just again. Oh, I think he spotted the hwinn head. Might have spotted Zanpah peeking there as well.
Oh my God.
Immediately gets the headshot. Now it's down to a 1v1 hwinn. Remember, Sharpshot did spot him out. He knows exactly where to be looking. hwinn just going to hold the angle. Sharpshot will be the one to push here. He's going to creep walk on to the ledge, to the fence, looking to get a little bit more utility out of that box. hwinn just holding the line. Sharpshot spot.
Oh my God.
If you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and message me directly or comment down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and also check out my Facebook page. Bye.